Hey there, glad to be back with you. I haven't been on YouTube as much as I should have been because of some events. I think everybody knows that I lost Scooter. I had to put him down myself. He got pretty bad. I will say he never had a bad day up until the very last day that he was put down. Okay, we'll talk about President Trump, the upcoming election, and I guess we could say the new norm is not normal. Not since President Donald J. Trump entered politics in 2016. Now, everybody knows about the trial going on with Bragg and his henchmen, but this is what's going to happen, I believe. As it becomes obvious that Trump is going to be the next president, and we're still a long ways out. You want to peak really closer to the election, but um, everybody's coming around. Now, people are not going to go to jail for what these crooks has tried to do to Trump. Um, if they can tie this in, and I believe Trump can, um, if there's a conspiracy and it came out of the White House, that would be serious. If they can show that Bragg, um, uh, the lady from Georgia, and a couple of these other prosecutors have ever met, that opens up a whole new ball game. That could, I believe, in my judgment, humble judgment, that it would do a RICO act. Okay, now when Trump gets in, he knows how the game is played now, and there will be a special prosecutor uh, appointed if this comes to the public's attention, and Trump will mandate this time that has to be done in a certain amount of time, a reasonable amount of time, not when the cows come home. So people in the political world know what's happening especially the legal world, and they're not going to wait until Joe Biden is dumped. They'll start coming forward now with information, making their deals, and they're going to be getting off the ship. The rats are going to be getting off the ship uh, before it even starts to sink. And we're talking about days away. Now, so that's one of the things that's going to happen. Now, as you know, Joe Biden um, challenged President Joe Biden, he's still our president, challenged Donald Trump to two debates. And Trump jumped on it, let him set the rules. It's going to be with a liberal broadcast. But don't think for one second now that these broadcast companies, these liberals, they're losing money. Trump can't run for re-election again. So they're probably already getting on board. And they're not going to let Fox and other conservatives get all this wonderful publicity that Donald Trump generates 24/7. Boy, he can generate publicity. He's milking his trial for all it's worth. He's got far more publicity, I believe, than what he's actually got outweighs his legal expenses. And some of these legal expenses he's going to get paid back for. He's going to have some suits going on. Uh, when prosecutors go overboard in excess, they can be sued. Now, okay, so we're going to have the debates. I think everybody feels that Trump is going to win those debates. He won't have an audience, which means he's going to be a little more restrained. He won't be seen as the bully or interrupting so much. So he'll be deliberate, he'll be well prepared, and he will choose his words carefully. Okay, first debate, Trump wins. Okay, now the Democrats are really rattled. They're thinking about how they can dump him, and we can talk about that at another time. I think what Trump will do now, between now and the time of that June debate, they're going to show Robert F. Kennedy to be a very, very liberal. I happen to think he's more like a Bernie Sanders type of person. He's basically not going to lie 24/7 like the Biden administration does. But they're going to have him painted so liberal, uh, the public is going to appreciate the fact that the Biden administration won't let him be part of the debate. But then I believe that President Trump will have a debate with him. Can you imagine that? Right before the Democratic convention? That, that's basic military uh, strategy. Um, William the Conqueror one time I guess was interviewed. It probably wasn't Larry King, but his basic philosophy was seek, divide, and destroy. And so I think that's what he's going to do. That's my prediction. Uh, Now, my prediction on who the Democrats are going to end with. Now, the short money would go with, you know, with the obvious uh, that has the least amount of odds. And I would say Governor Gavin Newsom, I can't say it with these new teeth I got, um, the liberal from California, the guy that has ruined a beautiful state, will probably be uh, the one the Democrats will go with. That's what the short money says. But what if you were to do this? All you've done is change the messenger, right? You shot the messenger. So you got a new guy going to deliver the same old message. Will that fly when you can't go out and buy a hot dog for less than $5? Gasoline, three, $4.50, $5 an hour a gallon, much, much more than it was when President Trump left the Oval Office. Uh, so you're going to need a new messenger, or you're going to need a new message. So I believe, and I'll give you a second, get your pen and pencil. Uh, Joe Manchin from West Virginia will be the ones that the political boss will take. Why? Because he's viewed as a more central in his politics. No one questions his common sense. Common sense, we've almost forgot what it is. And of course, West Virginia, they're going to go for him because he will make things right where the Biden administration screwed over West Virginia. So I believe that's going to be who it is, assuming that the senator, and I hope he does have good health, will be the choice. Now, my hopes and prayers, because I'm a Trump supporter, I'm hoping that he is allowed for this contingency because so far he's debated people who talk nonsense, people that lie to us. I mean, the border's secure, and you look at people getting ran over, almost trampled to death. You say that there's no inflation. I bought 2 hamburgers the other day, I think, at Denny's, and a couple sodas for me and my daughter, and it was $32. For a hamburger. Hamburger is not a rich man's food. So when people go to vote, President Biden can do all the spending he wants to. When you start approaching $5 a hot dog, they're looking for a new president. As in the Clinton administration, they said, it's the economy, stupid. Now, Joe Biden is down trying to get the black votes, promising they won't have no water when they have to stand in a long waiting line. I don't know whether he's ever heard of this, but remember, people do know how to buy a bottle of water before they get in line. And there'll be plenty of good Samaritans that will be out there with a ice chest full of cold water for the people who want to vote. Uh, you know, 30 years ago, you could tell people a bunch of BS, and More often than not, they would believe it, but those days are gone, and people will pay attention. I mean, people got to fill their cars up 2 or 3 times a week, depending on how much commuting they do. Um, Go to the grocery stores, you go into Walmart, and you put that cart in forward, and you run as fast as you can because you want to get your merchandise and get out of the store before the prices go up. Well, that's the way I see it. Don't put a whole lot of money on my odds, but you might want to put a few dollars here and there. I'm glad to be back with you. I had some emergencies here at the house. That's what I think. Let me know what you think. Until next time, I will say happy trails.